I used to think one haircut could last me the rest of my life. It couldn't, and pretending it could aged me faster than anything else I was doing wrong. Today I'm walking you through the hairstyles that are quietly adding years to your face, and exactly what to ask for instead. These aren't dramatic mistakes. They're small, ordinary choices most of us made without ever questioning them. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and the best fixes for women over 50 so you get real results fast. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. I cover this every week. Part 1. The length that's pulling your face down. Here's something most stylists won't say out loud. Hair that falls past your shoulders doesn't frame your face after 50, it drags it. The weight pulls everything downward, and gravity is already working against your jawline without extra help from 6 inches of unstyled length. It's not that long hair is wrong on principle. It's that most women keep the same length they had at 30, and their face has changed while the haircut never did. You know the moment. You catch yourself in a window reflection, and for a second you don't recognize the tired shape looking back. It's not your face. It's the hair hanging flat around it, adding weight exactly where you don't want weight anymore. The fix is a lived-in shoulder grazing length with movement built into the ends, not a blunt cut, not one flat line. Ask your stylist for face framing layers that start at the cheekbone and get lighter as they go down. This does something specific. It removes bulk from the jaw and chin area, which is exactly where heaviness reads as tired. The layers catch light differently than one solid mass of hair does. And that light movement is what makes hair look alive instead of just present. Here's why this works on a level most people never think about. Your face has softened slightly at the jaw. That's just what happens with time. And it's nothing to fix or apologize for. But hair that mirrors that same soft, heavy line only doubles down on it. Layers create an upward visual pull. They lift attention toward your cheekbones and eyes instead of letting the whole shape sink toward your chin. It's a simple trick of where the eye lands first. Ask specifically for face framing pieces that hit between the chin and the collarbone, cut at an angle rather than straight across. Have your stylist point cut the ends instead of blunt cutting them. This softens the line even further, and keeps the layers from looking heavy themselves. If you have any waviness or texture, ask for the layers to be cut dry, so your stylist can see exactly how the movement falls before committing to a line. The result is immediate. Within one cut, women tell me people start commenting on their eyes, their cheekbones, things nobody had mentioned in years. That's not a coincidence. You've redirected where the face gets red from. There's a second part to this fix that most women skip, and it's the reason the haircut alone sometimes doesn't deliver. Length without volume at the crown still reads as flat, even with beautiful layers. Ask for a light root lift when you blow dry, just at the crown, nowhere else. You don't need volume everywhere. You need it exactly where the length used to sit heavy, right at the top of your head, so the whole shape lifts rather than droops. Think about the difference between a photograph where someone looks tired and one where the same person looks rested, wearing the same outfit, same lighting. Almost every time it's the hair. Flat at the crown reads as tired regardless of how much sleep you actually got. Lift at the crown reads as awake, present, engaged, even on a rough day. So here's the swap. Before, one length, past the shoulders, flat crown, blunt ends, hanging with no movement. After, shoulder grazing layers, face framing pieces angled and point cut, light root lift at the crown only. Same amount of hair, in most cases. Completely different face reading it. But length is only half the story. The next mistake has nothing to do with how long your hair is, and everything to do with where you're parting it. And that one's even more common than this one. Part 2. The part that's widening your whole face. If you've worn your part in the exact same spot since high school, I need you to hear this gently. That part is doing something to your face you probably never noticed, because you see it every single day, and your brain stopped registering it years ago. A center part, worn on hair that's thinned even slightly at the crown, creates a straight vertical line that splits your face in half and exposes scalp in a way that reads as sparse rather than sleek. On younger, denser hair, a center part looks effortless. On hair that's naturally thinned with time, that exact same part draws a hard line straight down the middle of a face that would look far softer with the weight distributed differently. You've probably stood in front of the mirror trying to fix a bad hair day by tugging at that same center line. wondering why nothing looked right no matter how you styled the rest. It's not the styling. It's the part itself, working against you before you've done anything else. The fix is a deep side part, cut at roughly a 2-to-1 ratio rather than dead center. This does two things at once. First, it lets the heavier side of hair fall forward and naturally cover any thinning along the part line, so there's no exposed scalp catching the light. Second, and this is the part people don't expect, it creates an asymmetrical shape that makes your whole face look more dimensional. A perfectly symmetrical center part is mathematically neat, but faces aren't neat, and neither is flattering hair. Slight asymmetry is what photographs well. Ask your stylist to find your natural part first. Most heads have one, usually where the hair already wants to fall when it's clean and dry. Then have them deepen it slightly from there rather than forcing a completely new direction your hair will fight against every single day. This matters because a part your hair doesn't want will need constant maintenance, while one that works with your natural growth pattern holds all day without you touching it. There's a texture trick that makes this fix hold. Once the deep side part is set, work a small amount of texturizing powder, or a dry texture spray directly at the root on the heavier side, not throughout the whole head. This gives the roots enough grip that the part doesn't slide back to center by noon, which is the #1 complaint women have after switching. The part isn't failing you, it's just sliding because there's nothing at the root to hold the new direction. The difference this makes in photographs is honestly the biggest surprise for most women. A center part photographed straight on can look stark, almost severe, no matter how good the rest of the styling is. A deep side part photographed the same way immediately looks softer, more flattering, more like the version of your face you actually recognize from 20 years ago, not because your face changed back, but because the hard vertical line is gone. So here's the swap, stated plainly. Before, dead center part, visible scalp line at the crown, hair pulled flat and symmetrical on both sides. After, deep side part at roughly 2-to-1, heavier section swept forward with root texture holding it in place, no visible line, natural asymmetry doing the work. It takes one conversation with your stylist to change, and it changes every photo taken of you afterward. Now there's a color mistake that's even more common than the part, and it's one almost every woman over 50 has made at least once without realizing it was working against her. Part 3, the color that's draining your skin. Nobody warns you about this one, and I think that's genuinely unfair, because it's one of the most common mistakes I see and one of the easiest to fix once you know what's actually happening. Flat, single process color, the same solid shade applied root to end with nothing else going on, was fine at 30. At this stage, it does something specific and unflattering. It creates a hard, uniform block of color that sits against skin that's naturally lost some of its own pigment and warmth over the years. The result is a stark contrast between hair and skin that reads as harsh rather than polished. And it happens whether you've gone fully gray, kept your natural color, or covered every strand with dye. You've felt this without being able to name it. You look in a well-lit mirror and something feels slightly off, slightly flat, even though the color itself looks fine on its own. It's not the shade. It's the fact that it's one single, uninterrupted tone with nothing to soften where it meets your face. The fix is dimension, specifically face framing highlights or lowlights placed only around the hairline and temples, not throughout the whole head. This is a much smaller, more targeted service than a full foil job, and it does more work than people expect. The goal is a soft gradient right where your hair meets your skin. A few subtly lighter or warmer pieces that blur the line between hair and face instead of leaving one hard edge. Here's the part that actually matters most. The undertone has to work with your skin, not just look nice in the bowl. Cooler skin tones generally do better with ash or beige-based pieces near the face, while warmer skin tones do better with soft caramel or golden pieces. Bring your stylist a photo in natural daylight, not salon lighting, so they can actually see your undertone accurately. Salon lighting alone has led to more mismatched color than almost anything else in this industry. What this actually does to your appearance is worth explaining fully, because it's not subtle once you see it. Flat color against aging skin creates contrast in the wrong place. A hard line at the hairline that draws the eye to exactly where you don't want it drawn. Dimensional color does the opposite. It creates a soft transition, almost like natural light is already falling on your hair, so the eye moves smoothly from skin to hair without hitting an abrupt edge anywhere. Women describe this fix as looking rested even on days they didn't sleep well. And that's not an exaggeration. It's just how much a soft, well-placed gradient near the face can soften everything around it. It's the same principle a good photographer uses when lighting a portrait. No hard shadows, no harsh lines, just gradual transitions that flatter bone structure instead of fighting it. If you've gone gray and are worried this doesn't apply to you, it applies even more. Solid, flat gray can look just as stark as solid, flat dye. Ask for subtle lowlights in a soft silver or pearl tone woven only near the face. The same principle, just applied to gray rather than color. So here's the swap. Before, flat, single process color, hard uniform tone, stark line at the hairline. After, soft face framing dimension in the right undertone, gradual transition from hair to skin, nothing stark anywhere near the face. It's a shorter appointment than most women expect, and it changes how every photo reads under any lighting. There's one more mistake left, and honestly, it might be the one doing the most damage, because it happens every single morning, and most women don't even think of it as a styling choice at all. Part 4. The blow-dry habit aging you daily. This last one isn't about a haircut or a color appointment. It's about something you do, or don't do, every single morning, and it's been quietly working against everything else on this list. Air drying, letting hair dry flat and naturally without any root work, feels easier and gentler, so a lot of women assume it's the better choice as they get older. But hair that's thinned even slightly loses its own natural lift over time, which means air-dried hair doesn't just dry flat. It dries flat and stays flat all day, with nothing to interrupt that low, heavy shape sitting against your head. You know the frustration. You style your hair beautifully in the morning, feel good about it, and by early afternoon it's collapsed into the same flat shape it always ends up in, no matter what product you used. That's not bad luck. That's hair with no root lift settling into the shape gravity always wants it to take. The fix isn't a full salon blowout every day, nobody has time for that. It's a 2-minute root lift technique you can do at home. While hair is about 80% dry, flip your head forward and direct warm air at just the roots for 30 seconds, focused only at the crown, not the lengths. Flip back up and let the roots cool in that lifted position before touching them again. Cooling is what locks the shape in. Skipping that step is why lift disappears within an hour for most people. This works because hair holds whatever shape it cools in, not whatever shape it's styled in while still warm. A lot of women dry their roots up, then immediately run a brush through while it's still hot, which cancels the lift out entirely before it ever gets the chance to set. The 30-second cooling pause is the single most skipped step, and it's the difference between lift that lasts all day and lift that's gone by lunch. There's a product step that makes this hold even longer. Apply a small amount of root lifting mousse or spray only at the crown while hair is still damp, before any heat touches it. You don't need product throughout, just a light amount exactly where the lift needs to happen. Product applied everywhere weighs the ends down, and works against the very lift you're trying to create at the root. The combined effect of these 4 fixes, the layers, the deep part, the face framing color, and the daily root lift isn't subtle. It's the difference between hair that quietly adds years every single day without you realizing it, and hair that works with your face instead of against it, morning after morning, photo after photo. Women who make just this one change, the root lift, tell me it's the fix that surprised them most, because it takes less time than air drying did and lasts longer than they expected. It's not more effort. It's the same 2 minutes, redirected to the one spot that actually matters. So here's the final swap. Before, hair air-dried flat with no root work, collapsing by early afternoon regardless of the style underneath. After, 30 seconds of root-focused heat, cooled in place, light mousse only at the crown, lift that holds through the whole day. Small habit, completely different face looking back at you by evening. You now know the 4 things quietly working against you: the length pulling your face down, the part widening it, the flat color hardening it, and the air-dry habit collapsing all of it by afternoon. Fix even 2 of these and you'll notice it before anyone says a word to you, because you'll see it every time you catch your reflection. Which one of these were you already doing without realizing it? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one. Next week I'm breaking down the makeup habits doing the same thing to your whole face. like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I'll see you in the next one.